rubbery dolphins and flubbery whales, big floppy flippers and short floppy tails. I like getting splashed by my friend Shamu, 'cause best of all I like fun things to play on and sea lights that bark. I like to squeeze at flamingo knees. Best of all I like SeaWorld.
Zoos have been around for centuries. At first, they were kind of like live museums for the wealthy, collections of exotic animals to impress guests. Eventually, they became public attractions, packed with people who wanted to see animals they'd never see otherwise. But over time, zoos started to change. Today, they're not just places to see animals, they're also places to learn. And that shift from entertainment to education is what we're talking about today. Let's take a look on how aquariums and zoos evolved into educational spaces that they are now, and whether or not they're actually doing a good job of teaching us anything. We can't really talk about the evolution of zoos and aquariums without talking about shows like Shamu. In the 80s and 90s, orcas like Shamu were the star attraction of places like SeaWorld. These shows were flashy, exciting, and honestly kind of magical to watch. They were designed to impress, not to necessarily inform. And while a lot of people left feeling amazed, they didn't always leave feeling more aware of the animals' needs or conservation issues. Over time, though, these kinds of performances came under heavy criticism. Documentaries have brought major attention to the ethics of keeping large marine animals in captivity for entertainment. Scholars like Sampaio describe the shift of growing public awareness about animal welfare, and it's led to big changes. Today, most zoos and aquariums have moved away from purely entertainment-based animal performances and more towards naturalistic and educational presentations. Instead of choreographed tricks, you're more likely to see enrichment sessions or behind-the-scenes experiences on how keepers care for the animal. The goal? Less spectacle, more substance. Now the big question is, how much do people actually learn at the zoo? McNally in 2024 ran a huge meta-analysis and found that people do walk away knowing a little bit more and feeling a little bit more conservation-minded. But when it comes to long-term behavior change, the results are kind of mixed. Gilbert and Shearsoy in 2022 point out that a lot of people spend only a short time at exhibits, so learning opportunities can be limited unless there's something really interactive or engaging going on. On that note, Moss and his team in 2015 found that school programs tied to zoos, especially when they include pre- and post-visit activities, had better results than just letting kids walk around. Basically, learning works best when it's structured. Just because a zoo offers educational stuff doesn't mean people are always going to engage with it. Spooner in 2023 argued that we don't really have a solid way of measuring what people learn in zoos. Different zoos use different methods, and that makes it difficult to compare or draw conclusions. Plus, many people go to the zoo to relax, not to study. Yamada and Knapp in 2010 found that a lot of visitors are more into spending time with friends and family than reading signs or attending programs. While zoos have potential to teach, they also have to work extra hard to grab the people's attention and make that learning stick. So what are the most effective ways zoos get their message across? Researchers like Fraser in 2023 say that learning at zoos isn't just about facts, it's about feelings, motivation, and connection. That's why interactive and emotional experiences tend to work the best. Some good examples include keeper talks or behind-the-scene tours, signs that connect the animal to real conservation issue, and activities that let people get hands-on or ask questions. Of course, the more personal or immersive the experience, the more likely someone is to remember it. Modern zoos aren't just trying to entertain anymore. A lot of them are involved in real conservation work, like breeding endangered species, restoring habitats, and even running citizen science programs. Beer in 2023 wrote that today's zoos are sophisticated institutions that juggle animal care, public education, and conservation science. That's a lot to manage. But the cool thing is that zoos have the chance to connect science with everyday people. Whether it's through digital tools, community outreach, or just a really good exhibit, they can help bridge the gap between what we know and what we do. Zoos and aquariums have made big moves over the past few decades. They've gone from being places of performance to places of purpose. And while there's still room to grow, there's a lot to be proud of. One of the most important players among this progress is the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, or also known as the AZA. This group sets high standards for things like animal care, enrichment, conservation programs, and education. And those standards aren't optional. AZA-accredited institutions go through rigorous review every 5 years to make sure they're doing it right. According to Beer in 2023, modern zoological institutions are becoming multifaceted organizations, balancing the care of animals, the education of the public, and the conservation of species all at once. And that's no small task, but many are rising to meet it. So next time you visit a zoo or aquarium, especially one accredited by the AZA, know that you're stepping into a space that's trying to do more than just entertain. It's a space that's educating, protecting, and inspiring change. And maybe that's the best experience of all, one that's meaningful, memorable, and built to last.